Hello everyone, this is Lori from Grammy's Keepsakes, and today we're going to prep the spine and the signatures to sew into the book. Before I do that, I like to make sure that I gather all my papers together and I put them in the order that I'd like them to be in the book. And make sure that we get it nice centered, because this is where we're going to stitch the holes. And you can use any kind of paper that you like. Magazines work, drawing paper, copy paper. I have Kool-Aid dyed paper and song music sheets. The story is intact, and I have some scrapbooking paper here. And I made this tag by cutting a file folder 3.5 inches wide by the length of the folder, and I folded it in half, cut the corners, and just used a single hole punch, so I've got an interesting piece to set inside. I even have some watercolor paper in here. It's nice and stiff. This is deli paper. So what we're going to do is make our template first. Put our signatures to the side. I cut a piece of graph paper the width of our spine. And in part 1, we cut our spine to be 1 3/4 inches. So my graph paper is 1 3/4 inches. And it's as long as the signatures. Now I'm going to fold it in half lengthwise and crease it. Let's move the book out of the way. And then I'm going to use ruler and my Sharpie so we can draw a line down the center. Then we can see it. Okay, I'm going to fold it in half lengthwise here. I'm going to make a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And then we're going to measure down 1 inch from the top. I'm going to fold that over so I can see where my 1 inch is on this side. Not everybody likes to measure, so okay. It's got 2 lines there. That's going to be confusing. There we go. Make it darker. And this was this one. Now this one's going to be where we're going to put the holes in the signatures. But to put our holes in the spine, I want to measure 1/4 inch away, so that it'll be 1/4 inch on each side, so then our signatures will be 1/2 inch apart. There we go. And then we're going to make our cross marks. Okay. And I have a neater one here that we'll use that neater one. And then now what we're going to do is poke a hole at each intersection. These will be where we're going to mark it in the spine. And we're going to poke a hole in that center too. That's for our signatures. I'll explain that when we get that far. But first, let's go ahead and clip this into our book. I like to just use a binder clip so that it doesn't go anywhere and that my holes will be lined up. You can use whatever you're comfortable using. Paper clips. Clothespins work great too. Alright, now we're going to use a pokey tool, and I'm going to just poke a hole right in that center through our chipboard spine. Here we go. Again. Again. Got to be careful so you don't poke yourself. That would take all the fun out of this project, wouldn't it? Okay, the spine is ready to go. Gonna unclip it. And now we're going to poke holes in the signatures. So we're going to open it up to the center. Get it all together. I like to use the ruler so that I can push on it a little bit so it gets it nice and tight there. And clip. And clip. Now I'm going to take this template that we made and just going to nest it right in the center there, lining up my edges. Feels like it's not together. Here we go. Much better. Okay. Now I like to start in the center. Poke that through. There we go. Poke it right through. And this one. Poke it right through. If you're going to do any sewing on any of your pages, you want to make sure you do that before we poke the holes in the signatures. But I'm just going to make it simple and just glue in my different embellishments. And we're going to do the same thing with the other signature, but let's just get started. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use baker's twine for my string today, and you can use anything, crochet cotton, pearl cotton, quilting thread, anything pretty much. And the length I like to use is 3 times the width of the spine. That way I'm sure I have enough thread so that my clumsy fingers doesn't go and pull it out. And then you just, whatever kind of thread you decide to use, just make sure the eye of the needle is going to be big enough to get the thread through. And what I find that after you cut the edge, pinch it really tight and then open your fingers up just a little bit and push it right into the needle. Whoops. Well, sometimes it works, right? Here we go. Push it right in. And then you don't have to see it. It's so much easier than my eyes just aren't as good as they used to be. So now what we're going to do is grab our signature and poke our needle into the first hole in the center. Okay. Now, I think I got, there we go. Oh, I'm poking a new hole. No wonder I'm having so much trouble. That's not good. Here we go. Oh, there. Find the right hole. It goes right through. And then I like to leave a little bit here so I don't go and pull it through. And then now what we're going to do is I make sure that my signatures are facing the same way as my cover so that my book's not upside down. And I'm going to put my needle in that first hole we made in the center. Pull it through. It's going to be a little loose in the beginning, but we're going to tighten it up later. Okay, and I think I'm going to have some buttons on the spine. Wouldn't that look cute? And so then what we can do is just grab a button and thread it. And it's going to be loose and floaty for now, but we can move it to where we want it to be. And then I like to take the hole that's at the bottom next, and bring that through. Find the center of my spine. Here we go. Boy, I get quiet when I'm concentrating, don't I? There we go. Pull it through. There we go. And then I'm going to bring it back to the center hole. And poke it into right through there again. There we go, nice and tight. That's what we want. Let's thread some more buttons on. We can use a yellow one next. And let's use how about a white one? We'll put 2 on this one. Okay, now we're going to poke it through the hole. And then into the hole that we punched in the signature. There we go. Got to get in the middle of this page. There we go. And this is what our outside looks like. And our inside. Okay, now I'm going to tie this up. And so what I'm going to do is bring this underneath that thread there. And this one under there, so they're coming from different directions. I'm going to pull them taut, but I don't want the threads to break. Are they tight on that side? Because this is our opportunity to make sure that our strings are as tight as we can get them. There we go. They got there. That's good. And now I'm going to tie the knot. And tie it again. And then we can cut our strings. And we can punch some circles of paper or hearts or butterflies or any little thing and glue on the ends of the strings for little charms. But here's one of the signatures all in. And these buttons, they'll just move right to where you want them to be. They can be anywhere. And then now what we have to do is the second signature. But I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. So thank you so much for watching.